Right. So, we're on to the next chapter, which is all about percents. Which seems like a simple idea. It's just one thing, but it's like 7 lessons in a row, all about percents. So we're going to knock out the first couple. So you can come back to this as we go through things in class and refresh yourself or be better prepared. Okay? So the first thing we talk about when we do percents is just how to find percent of a number, like 40% of 70. And so what we do is we consider 40% as a fraction. And we know percents are always out of 100. Okay, like when you think of your grades usually out of a maximum of 100. And if you wonder why 100, well, as your fun history fact for the day, the word percent, right? That's the word we're talking about, comes from Latin, which is where most of our words come from, percentum, which means by the 100. Because a long time ago, back in the day, before the internet, and decimals, time before there were decimals, all they had were fractions. So if they wanted less than something, they put it as a fraction out of 100, right? That's where percent started out. So that's a fun fact for you. So when we say 40%, it's equivalent to 40 out of 100. And then if we want to find percent of something, it's always the operation of multiplication. So we say 40 out of 100 times 70. And then at this point, it's just math. So we work this out. And now if we want to multiply fractions, we can put 70 over 1. And we can multiply straight across. Or we could say, I don't actually want to do 40 times 70, but I know 40 over 100, I can simplify that. I know if I have an extra 0, I can cross both of those out. This is going to become 4 over 10. Right? And then we can simplify this more, but this one actually isn't that bad. Because 4 times 70 is 280 divided by 10. And this is going to come up later, so let's practice now. So 280 divided by 10. Anytime you divide by 10, all that happens is we move our decimal one place to the left. And if you don't believe me, we can do this one time. I'm only going to do this once. This takes a lot of effort. So 10 goes into 28 two times. 2 times 10 is 20. If we subtract 28 minus 20 is 8. 10 goes into 80 8 times. There it is. 280 divided by 10 is 28. So 280 divided by 10 is 28. Or 40% of 70 is 28. It's not a very good 8. I'm going to practice my 8s. Perfect. And that's it. That's all this comes down to. Anytime you want to find percent of a number, you write it as a fraction, multiply by the number you care about, and you get your answer. Okay. Okay. So I'm going to erase this. Hopefully you wrote it down. Let's try our next one here. So we have 15% of 100. Then we're going to come back to this one. We're going to look at fun percent fact number 2 after the end of this. So we have 15. Again, it's a percent, so that's out of 100. Right? Times 100. Okay, so it's 100 over 1 equals. And now this one, we could simplify 15 over 100. Or, since we're multiplying, we can simplify diagonally, right? Because we're going to do 15 times 100, and then we're immediately going to divide by 100, right? Like, let's say we work this out. Like, so 15 times 100 is 1500. 100 times 1 is 100, right? And then we'd have to divide this. We'd say 1500 divided by 100, but we just multiplied by 100, right? So instead of doing that, we could simplify this. 100 and 100 cancel each other out. This is just 1 now, right? So 15 times 1, that's 15. And what do we have? 1 times 1, that's just 1. So what is 15% of 100? That's 15. Now let's put it up here. Okay. So now the fun fact is you might not know. Your teacher might not know either. You can tell your teacher and see if they believe you. If we say 15% of 100, that's the exact same thing as saying 100% of 15. And this works for all of them. I just did it on this one because this is really easy. 100% of 15 is just 15, right? It's the whole thing. Okay, so anytime you get a problem like this, you can always switch these two numbers around. It's a fun fact. So if the question was, what is 70% of 40, you would know that's 28. It's the same as 40% of 70. Okay? So that's how you find percents. If it says percent of something, that's all it is. Write it as a fraction, multiply by the whole thing, get your answer. And that is lesson 1. Okay? Not too bad. So then we move on to lesson 2. Guess I should have started by putting the lesson, whatever. And that's all about estimating percents. And I'm not entirely sure how they want to do this, so I'm going to try to do this the functional way that'll help you out, because percents, unlike a lot of things you actually do in middle school math, percents get used all the time. Okay? Anytime you want to buy something, if you go to the store, you know you got to pay tax on it, unless it's tax-free weekend. Usually, if you're a good shopper and money means something to you, oh, my marker just died. Hold on.